I'm Alan Spears with Occupy Democrats, and in a bit of breaking news today, we have just learned that Ivanka Trump may be looking to make a move out of the country and leave her father and this whole political world behind. Now, as many of you are well aware at this point, Ivanka Trump, along with her husband, Jared Kushner, who was also the former senior advisor to Donald Trump, they are involved in a variety of different businesses, or really schemes, and one of those is real estate. Now, it would seem that both Jared and Ivanka have done their best to try to avoid the spotlight or drawing any unwanted or any unnecessary attention, as Lord knows their father has certainly stirred the pot, to say the least. Now, Kushner has seen a ton of controversy over these past few years as his own private equity firm, Affinity Partners, received a massive investment from the Saudi crown prince. Now, pretty much every advisor and analyst held up the red flag with this investment, as it very much seemed like Kushner was essentially trading political favors or clout for the crown prince in exchange for this large sum of investment. And it would seem that these ethics experts and advisors had reason to be concerned, as Kushner played a leading role in defending the Saudi crown prince during Trump's administration in 2018, when the crown prince was accused of killing a Washington Post journalist. All of that is to say that it would seem that Ivanka and Jared have absolutely zero problems trading political favors and doing whatever they need to get just a little bit more money. And that is actually what brings us into our breaking story today. Ivanka, along with Jared and the investment firm Affinity Partners, Kushner's private equity firm, they have recently secured a deal with the Albanian government to build a luxury resort. Now, some of you out there might be asking, what is the big deal? Why does this matter? This is just a rich person doing rich person things, and you aren't wrong. Now, in the clip I'm going to be showing you momentarily, Ivanka explains how she and her husband Jared are just so, well, gosh, they're just so gosh darn excited to start working on and developing this new luxury villa off of the coast of Albania. But if you thought that the Trump family was capable of doing any sort of business or any sort of investments or anything really that wasn't shady or riddled in corruption or have the interests of foreign governments at play, well, you would be wrong. But we will be diving into that in just a moment. But in the meantime, take a look and see for yourself what Ivanka had to say and how she's so excited and how this will be the greatest thing for artists everywhere.
Right now, I'm working with my husband. We have this 1,400-acre island in the Mediterranean, and we're bringing in the best architects and the best brands. But to have a point of view and to challenge people who are such artists respectfully, but not to be afraid to ask questions, it takes a lot of confidence to do that. And it's hard. So these are actually just internal early renderings. So we're in the process of doing the master planning now. But
this is beautiful. I mean, it's
this
on the
is
side
an
of a
early
mountain.
vision. Yeah, it's going to be extraordinary. Aman's going to operate the hotel for us, and there are going to be villas, and we have Carbone, who's going to be doing the food and beverage, but it's amazing to bring together all of this talent, and for me to be able to play around and flex the real estate muscles again and have some fun with it is
the real estate, the design.
Completely unrelated, but I've got to say, those renderings of those villas, those look like just stacked versions of Tony Stark's mansion. I don't know. Now, you might be asking yourself, well, Alan, that just wasn't all too interesting, and why should I care about that? And hey, fair enough. The real meat of this story is what else is on this island and where it's located. What Ivanka didn't mention in that clip is that these resorts, these villas that they're building out, is on the same island that an ex-Soviet military base is residing on. As if the Trump family didn't already have numerous ties to Russia and should probably, if they were smart, be trying to kind of downplay those connections. They're gonna build their next greatest resort on a Soviet-era military base. Fantastic. This island is filled with underground bunkers and tunnels that network throughout this entire island, so it really does beg the question, does the Trump family know something that's about to go on or go down that the rest of us don't? Purely speculation, of course, but I've got to wonder why you would choose this deserted Soviet-era military base as the site of your luxury resort. Now you might be asking yourself, why should we care? It's an ex-Soviet base, right? The Russians aren't there right now, and that is a fair point. If they've got the infrastructure already built on the island, maybe they can still use it. But the problem is further exacerbated because this island is part of Albania's first and only marine park. The Karaburun-Sazin National Marine Park is Albania's only marine park and was, at least in theory, a plot of ocean and land by extension that was supposed to be protected. This island and the surrounding area have actually been a major source of tourism for Albania, as there is a ton of wrecked ships under the waters from the World War II era. Furthermore, this area has some insanely rich historical significance too, of ancient writings and artwork and a ton of just historical culture and significance in this surrounding area. So it would only make sense that the Albanian people would work so hard to kind of restore and preserve this incredible historical area and this beautiful area of untouched nature and significance and beauty. And that Jared and Ivanka would come in, look at it for 5 seconds and say, yeah, let's stick a resort on top of it. What is it with these rich people, like the Trumps and like really so many others, that they take one look at something beautiful in nature and just get this overwhelming desire to put concrete on top of it? Don't get me wrong, I don't want to sound like I'm anti-civilization or anything, or like we should return to nature, or that there's not going to be some concessions made here and there, but you had presumably anywhere in the world, you definitely had anywhere in the United States to build this cliffside luxury resort, and instead you went to this little island off the coast of Albania and just put it on top of a park. You know, I was really kind of excited when I heard Ivanka say that she and Jared weren't ever returning to politics. I thought, hey, okay, maybe this is a signal that maybe they're turning it around somehow. Maybe they're disagreeing with their father. Maybe they're finally starting to see the light, or they just don't want to be associated anymore. Who knows? Maybe something has happened to make them better. But here we are, once again, proving that they're just as crappy as their father. I mean, seriously, you had all that money and you're going to build a luxury resort on an ex-military base in Albania, right next to Russia. Seriously? Look, I realize it might be idealistic or naive of me to ask that they do something, generally beneficial with that money, like invest it back in this country. Like, even if you did a luxury resort in the United States, at the very least you have that money going towards the country, presumably, in some small capacity, but nope, gonna build on an island out next to Russia because of course we are. I really do find this kind of fascinating and a little funny that Ivanka and Jared are off doing their own thing right now, as their dad is currently basically working his darndest to destroy democracy. Seriously, is this why they're leaving? Is the fact that Ivanka's father, Donald J. Trump, is doing his best to become an authoritarian and destroy, in every sense of the word, American democracy? Is that why she and her husband are leaving? It certainly isn't a good look, and definitely lends credence to the notion that everyone that is directly associated with Donald Trump inevitably gets burned or gets sick of him and leaves. It would seem that also now includes his daughter, but maybe she was just getting tired of being hit on by her father. It really does feel like Ivanka and Jared, and really pretty much everyone in the Trump family and directly associated with them, they're investing in everything that isn't the United States. Why do these people seem to so endlessly put money and resources into places that aren't here, that aren't their home, that aren't in their presumed interest? Do Ivanka and Jared just want to go over and be the richest people in Albania? I don't know. I don't know why they're choosing to do this. But frankly, if it keeps them away from the United States, if it keeps them out of our politics, good. go to Albania, have your little military luxury resort villa, and just stay over there. Nothing would make us happier, and probably nothing would make them happier than for us to all never have to think about each other ever again and just stay the hell out of the United States.